Blog Talk Radio.
Hey, what up, Q? What up, Radio World?
My name is Quincy. And this is my show, the Talk to Q Radio Show. It's almost like posting a blog, except I'm doing it live. Call it here.
Thank you for having me on your show. So awesome to be here with you and all your listeners.
I ain't saying you don't screw. Screw and cool.
Oh my goodness.
Oh, that came out, all kinds of freaky. That's not what I meant.
You know, we need more shows like this because people need as much relationship help out there as they can get.
I was told that I was a man eater. Well, I am pro-woman, but I'm not anti-man. I know the value of a good man. Does that make sense? I like that. I'm going to say that again one day.
What's going on, man? What up?
Hey, Q. Hey, everybody.
Hey, Q. How are you?
You ain't laying it down?
I bring thunder and lightning every single time.
Is that it?
What's going on, everyone? I want to welcome all of you to the Talk to Q radio show tonight. My name is Quincy, and this is my show. Now, before I get started, let me do a little show maintenance. This show is fueled by opinions, so feel free to speak your mind, because some things just need to be said. Here on the Talk to Q radio show, there are generally no experts, just opinions. Unlike most shows where you simply listen to the host, I allow you a chance to do the talking completely uncensored. This show is very informal yet informative and basically comes off as a conversation at a bar amongst friends. Regardless if you agree or disagree with what's being said by other callers, you will get a chance to speak your mind as well. Now, if you have something to get off your chest about one of our topics tonight, or if you wish to ask a question or have a comment for our guest, then give me a call at 347-202-0215. If you don't wish to call, then join the chat room and let your thoughts be known from there, and I'll read them on the air. Again, the call-in number, 347-202-0215. Once you dial in, you can simply just listen to the show if you want. However, if you get the urge to voice your opinion or ask a question, then hit 1 on your dial pad if you wish, to do so. Once you join the host queue, please be sure to be in a quiet room to eliminate the background noise. All right? Now, if you're in the host queue and something comes up and you're not available to talk, then just press 1 again, and that will take you out of the host queue. This will prevent me from coming to you and you not being there. All right? Now, if calling in or using the chat room, if that's just not your thing, then you can also ask questions or make comments via Twitter. Follow me on Twitter at Talk2Q, and that's Talk, the number 2, Q. And if you decide to go that route, then please be sure to use hashtag T2Q so that we can live chat during the show. Okay? Maintenance complete. All right. Now, my guest has been described as an international servant, author, engaging speaker, and actress. She won Miss Black USA in 2005. She is the Goodwill Ambassador to the Republic of Gambia. From the Twin Cities of Minnesota, please welcome Miss Celi Marie Dean to the Talk to Q radio show. Miss Dean, how are you?
I am wonderful. Thank you for having me on your show.
Okay, and thank you for agreeing to come on to the show. Now, first of all, let's start with your name, because I'm just getting this now. Even though it's spelled Celi, explain why there's a difference as far as the pronunciation.
All right, so on top of already having to struggle with identity as a young girl being Liberian American, my dad decides to spell my name Celi, which added on to that. But It's actually pronounced Celi. I am the namesake of my grandmother, who is from Liberia, and we are from the Bassa tribe. So it is not a very common name, but it is a Bassa name. And the correct pronunciation is Celi. Although I get called Celi all the time, I do not get offended. Color Purple, I'm a big fan. So, but definitely it's actually pronounced Celi.
Okay, all right. Well, let's go ahead and let's get to it, and let me ask a few questions because I'm sure everyone wants to learn more about you. Now, you won your first pageant when you were 8 years old. How exactly did you get started in pageants, and was it something that you wanted to do yourself, or were you pushed by family members?
In all honesty, I started pageantry when I was 6 years old, and it started off something that my mother actually encouraged me to do. And a friend of hers noticed that I loved being in front of the camera, that I was very personable and loved singing and all these things, and actually told my mom, why don't you try putting her in a pageant? And so at 6 years old, joined my first pageant because it was something that, of course, mama enrolled me in it, and right. I ended up meeting one young girl there who ended up becoming my best friend. We're still friends to this day. And we just had a blast. We hung out the whole weekend. I enjoyed being on stage. I enjoyed meeting new people and being able to just have fun. And that's really what it was about when I started, was having fun. And even though we had interview and we had to dress up and there was a competition aspect of it, the system that I ended up doing really made it fun, a really great experience. And so after that, I enjoyed it. I said, let's do this again. And when I won my first pageant at 8 years old, and I got that crown, and that was actually the time I met Miss Black Minnesota, 1993. She just so happened to be at my pageant, and I told my mom, I'm going to be like her when I grow up. And so from then on, I absolutely fell in love with pageantry, and it became a passion of mine. It became another sport per se, and another way as I got older to really express some of my passions, some of the things that I'm concerned about, and a platform to really utilize those things.
Okay. And you definitely did not stop there. You caught fire from there. And you went on pretty much to win every pageant in the state of Minnesota. Miss Preteen Minnesota, Miss Junior Teen Minnesota, Miss Teen Minnesota International, Miss Black Minnesota USA, which is, what you ultimately wanted to accomplish. But that wasn't enough for you. So in 2005, you won Miss Black USA. And with that, you won, a $5,000 scholarship, a trip to the Bahamas, a contract with Flory Roberts. You won a trip to any place in the world of your choice for raising the most money through the Children's Miracle Network. What was your feeling? What were you feeling when they called your name as winner of the Miss Black USA pageant?
Wow, in all honesty, Q, like you said, it was my desire, and I spoke that at a young age, to become Miss Black Minnesota. So going to the Nationals, I was just so excited to be there. And I was amongst so many amazing women. I was the second youngest, so I already sort of went in not thinking that I was going to capture the crown. I sort of thought, okay, I made it this far. I'm going to do my best, and I'm just excited I made it this far. So when we got down to top 5, I was beside myself. I couldn't believe it. I thought for sure, I had amazing competitors. I was the baby in the group, so I thought I was, okay, maybe fourth runner-up, third runner-up. I did well. But as I started counting, naming off the different runners-up, and it got to me and my first runner-up, my stomach was in knots, butterflies. And when they called her, they usually call the first runner-up first, I was so confused. I looked, I didn't have any emotion, in all honesty, when I go back and look at the video, because I was in so much shock. Like, wait, are you sure that you just, And so I walked up there, and when the girls came and hugged me afterward, that's when I started crying and realized, oh, okay, I won. And so it was just really a moment of shock, excitement, and honor just to be able to have captured that title and to be able to represent so many amazing women throughout the United States and to carry on my platform of education and self-love. So it was an amazing experience, to say the least.
I'm sure it was. It sounds like it was. And now, where did you go for your trip of your choice?
We went to the Bahamas, and then what we did was we got a connection with the Gambia and ended up traveling there, which was not planned, but as we know, God always has his own plans, and from there, we started developing a very close relationship and ended up hosting the 2007 Miss Black USA pageant in the Gambia. And
wow.
So we had the opportunity to travel there and host the pageant, and so that was sort of my trip that I took, because growing up I always wanted to go actually to Liberia. That was always my desire, but I ended up going to the Gambia first, and that took me all over the world, and it's been a blessing. So
okay. And now for those who may not be familiar with Gambia, and that's me included, I didn't realize how much as far as the population goes. I mean, almost 2 million people as far as the population there, and it's near the Senegal, right?
Yes, it's actually, the interesting thing about the Gambia is it's located right in the middle of Senegal, and it never used to be its own independent country. It used to be one country, Senegal, and if you had a chance to look at the map, there's a river that runs right through the middle of Senegal, and that's called the Gambian River. Well, what happened was the British and the French fought over the resources and over that land, and the British ended up winning and actually cut out that area of land and made that a separate country. So you have Senegal, which is a French-speaking country because they were colonized by the French, and then Gambia right in the middle, people of the same tribes and different dialects, but they were colonized by the British. And so it has a really interesting history. And the other thing, which I think is really important, which I didn't know before traveling there, was that Gambia is where actually Kunta Kinte comes from, and where we have Alex Haley's The Roots.
Okay.
Roots. And so I learned that going there, we had the opportunity to meet his seventh generation or somebody's, his aunt in the Kinte family, Kente family. And so it was really an amazing experience. And, I think a lot more people should know about it because there is so much history, especially in the African-American community.
Yeah.
Just the history behind that. And so it's a beautiful country, small country, but the people are so warm and so welcoming. And there's just a lot of history behind that place.
And not too many people would expect an African country where the official language is English. I mean, so a lot of people wouldn't know that at all. So it does sound like it would be an interesting place to visit. And, okay, the phone lines are filling up here. I will get to you all in just a moment. So you can speak to Miss Dane. Call in number 347-202-0215 on the Talk to Q radio show. And now, I'll be honest, C-Day, I'm not a huge fan of pageants, at least not anymore. When I was younger, I used to watch them a lot, but it seems like a lot of pageants these days are all about sponsors and not enough about the contestants, their talents, and what they plan to do once they're crowned as far as their work. Now, you've done a lot with you've done a lot of good with the opportunities that you've been given. So how did winning the pageant benefit you personally, and how did it help you get to where you are today?
I love that question. Actually, I completely understand when people, have a negative view about pageantry, because when you look on TV, a lot of pageants that they show are more of the what I call glitz and glam, or you have a lot of the mothers that are sort of pushing their children to do these competitions, and it becomes more about beauty and look. So I completely understand that when people come to me, especially when parents come and they're interested in pageantry for their daughter, but are a little bit concerned about that aspect. And what I always tell them is it's like anything else. You really have to take your time and look at the different systems that are out there. Look at what sort of your goal is, what your purpose is in doing the pageant or putting your daughter in a pageant, and then find one that fits that goal. I was blessed that the system that I went through growing up, they didn't allow us to wear makeup until we were teens and older. They really had interview, they had talent competition, and they really had the opportunity for us to go out and do a lot of community service, which was required.